Hello dear friends, welcome to communication disorders. These are disorders that are also classified under neurodevelopmental disorders because they also present themselves at the early stage of a child's development. Communication disorders, simply put, has to do with a child's inability to send or receive or process information which is proper to that child's age and level. So these difficulties can present itself in a child in different ways. It could be in the form of language disorder, which has to be the child's difficulty to use a particular language despite the familiarity the child has with that language. It could be speech sound disorder, which has to do with difficulties in producing reasonable sound that could be considered speech. Like a child finds it difficult to talk. Not a matter of language or a particular word, but the difficulty pronouncing words. It could also be childhood onset fluency disorder, usually what they talk about flow in timing of speech. So the child cannot be very fluent in speech because of this impairment. It could also be social communication disorder, which has to do with difficulties in using language in the appropriate context. And it could also be what has been generally considered unspecified communication disorder, which is just simply a situation where a child has difficulties in communication, but that child's specific difficulty cannot be fit into the circle of language, speech sound, childhood onset fluency, or social communication. So another word for this childhood onset fluency, what is commonly known is stuttering. So when a child has difficulties articulating fluently, we talk about stuttering. So that is also a communication disorder. Many people have children in this situation. They don't even know that it is an abnormality. It is not supposed to be like that. The question is, so how do we know that a child is suffering from this? Just from the names, you can already see that a child is going through this or that. At least when it comes to communication disorder, the situations are usually very visible to comprehend. Causes are, it is difficult to still talk about cause, a particular cause. Like any other mental disorder, it's hard to pinpoint the cause because sometimes it could be a particular cause, it could be a group of causes. Now, about treatment, it is just like many others. It is hard to say you treat completely, but sometimes children grow up and some of these disorders leave them. In other situations, they are accompanied through various therapies such as speech and language therapy, special education support, hearing management, behavioral interventions, and so on. These various ways of interventions could help to better the situation of a child. Whatever the case, a child in this situation could be very intelligent but unable to pass across the message. So it is also a message to parents and teachers when they are evaluating a student in this situation or a pupil in this situation to use the best means of evaluation that is suitable to their situation. So for any question regarding this, drop your question in the comment section or you can contact me privately for any inquiries. So thank you very much and see you in our next video.